Today on the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, we are discussing The Marvels. The movie has finally come out. All of that and more of that we have a modicum of control over.
Why didn't I take this intro? Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
And I'm Jeff Randall.
And I'm Ashley Coffin. No. Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh, couldn't hit it.
All right. She's like, take two.
This isn't live or anything.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
I didn't expect you to do that.
Yeah, I didn't either, and then it just happened.
Very good, sir.
I like it. So, we have seen the Marvels, and it's time to talk about it. I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't start with like our breakdown of these characters. We got these three characters that got really fleshed out in this movie. What do y'all think of the three leads?
I do feel like it felt like a Captain Marvel movie. Kind of like how Civil War felt like kind of like a Captain America movie, even though it was like an Avengers adjacent. It did feel like it was mostly about Carol a little bit more. I don't know. And I kind of liked that about it because I did want a Captain Marvel too. But I do really like what we got from the other characters. I mean, I liked the runtime, but I do feel like I needed a little bit more. I don't know. You next.
It needed a stretch, right? Like it needed just a little bit more time to live with the decisions and the consequences of what happened. Like it was just boom, 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 back to back to back. Everything's happening so fast, which I mean, I guess is accurate for like Carol's life because everybody's always needing her. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that I necessarily felt that it was very much a Captain Marvel movie. Like it felt very balanced and chaotic between the three of them, in my opinion, until they all came together, and it was like so serene.
I definitely, and I'll get back to. I want to stay on the positive because I really do love this. But something you're saying really resonates with me about the negative there too. But man, I just think they did a really good job of having a good team movie that left us with three characters that are much more fleshed out, much more interesting. I mean, Monica, we so many like little things we've been talking about for a long time. Ever since WandaVision, we've been like, why is Monica pissed? And like we theorized about this exact thing, but she's pissed because she felt abandoned.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the thing that like really got me, oh gosh, I'm going to get emotional, but was her when she sees her mom at the end. And this is, spoiler alert, post-credit sequence.
Somebody asked in the chat, have we had 3, 2, 1 spoiler yet?
Right now. 3, 2, 1 spoiler.
Should we?
At this point.
I feel like we should tell people in the chat, like, if you're here thinking that we're going to be watching and talking about Loki at all, anything other than The Marvels right now, you need to not be here if you haven't seen it.
We're talking about The Marvels. Sorry about that. Sorry for not leading in. We do normally do a spoiler-free section. Spoiler-free, I liked it. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's real good.
It was really fun. Like, it was a fun movie.
It was fun. And it's got some problems, but it was fun. It was more fun than I was expecting it to be.
It was more action-y than I was expecting it to be.
See, that's what they got me with. I was totally here for the action. I thought it was really good. It was fun.
It was well choreographed. Yes. And like the way that the three of them worked together was spectacular.
Yeah.
And like it was a beautiful movie too. Like the visuals in it were just really great. Like I think there was one CGI point where I was just like, I don't know about that.
There's more than one.
Yeah, there's one that's pretty serious.
I didn't think it was that egregious.
Did you see it on IMAX?
No.
Oh, well, I did.
Sorry.
But it was still 45 minutes late. Again, with these things, I saw a couple of people in the chat were having movies with problems with their theaters too. I'm like, they need to get it together. The second they started running like the Coke commercials and stuff again, that's when my arms crossed. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. That's when
the last movie was what? Ant-Man?
Ant-Man, or no, it was Guardians 3.
Guardians 3. That one was a little late.
Jeff, you said that's when the Karens came out, and I was confused because I went to see it with our friend Karen.
Oh, so we don't mean that, Karen. Some of them are okay.
Yeah, no, they are. I was like literally confused. Like I didn't get the euphemism, and I was like, wait, Karen was with me. We're in different sides of the country. But no, I thought it was really, really good, really, really fun. Team dynamic was wonderful. And what I really thought shined is their ability to build all three characters and give them all three arcs that were interesting. And like you said, while I do think it was more of an ensemble movie, I mean, it's called The Marvels, for instance. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's called The Marvels, for goodness sake. But like, I did think that it was very much about the legacy of Captain Marvel. Like, these two characters are both so inspired by her. One that has this chip on her shoulder for her, and one that has this just absolute love for her. And this is what's kind of beautiful about it. And I guess, I don't know if this isn't really spoilers, but like, the movie's kind of about what happens when you meet your heroes, but also what happens when you meet the person who spurned you so greatly. And like, what happens when the person you've built up in your mind, you meet that person face to face and find out they're just a human. You know what I mean? They're just a person. And it's like both of them are having that realization and sort of coming down from the height of the fangirl and letting off of the like chip she's been holding onto her shoulder. You know, it's really, really well done in the way that it does that. She did seem to let it go
pretty quickly, which was nice.
Well, and you can tell she still wants that relationship because she calls her Aunt Carol instead of calling her. Yeah, like instead of calling her Captain Marvel. And it's like, she has to stop herself because she still has this affection for her as her aunt. She's not just Captain Marvel to her.
Yeah, which is
from the very beginning.
It's like that story about who plays Superman? What's his name? Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
His like nephew at school was like, my uncle's Superman, and all these kids started bullying him, and the teachers like got him in trouble. They're like, you can't make things up and say that your uncle's Superman. Well, then Henry Cavill went to school with his nephew to be like, hi, I'm his uncle. So yes, his uncle is Superman. It's like stuff like that. And we kind of got to see Carol do stuff like that. Like, she's like, I'm really sorry I yelled at you. Because I get it. Like, you have this kid who is fangirling out of you, which was amazing. Kamala was so funny. Because I just picture that's so how good. I would be with Captain America.
All of us.
Oh my God.
She is us.
Just like any of them, probably.
Yep.
But I always just go to Cap.
I mean, she did that for Nick Fury. Like, we saw in the trailer. Like, she's like, oh, hi, Nick Fury. Hi. Like, I would do the same thing.
Who wouldn't?
Yes. Well,
how could you not?
Full spoiler alert. Let's get into it, including the ending. The thing I was trying to get to earlier was when she's. Oh, sorry. 3.
Jeff is
We're gonna get big spoiler. Big spoiler. Just ready. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God! We got to saw Beast.
You saw Beast. Kelsey Grammer's Beast. Original X-Men universe Beast.
I know, and Maria was.
And he had his tusks.
Oh, he had his little tusks.
He had his little tusks.
That's what I was trying to get to earlier. When she sees her mom, the first thing she says, and this broke my freaking heart. She starts going, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Yep. Because she feels like she abandoned her.
She wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that ties so much to the story, like, because she felt abandoned by Captain Marvel. That was this person in her life that she felt she said, I'll be back as soon as I can, and disappeared for the rest of her life. And then she was never going to do that to her mom. She was sitting at her bedside as she's dying of cancer and was not going to leave. And like, she was going to be there for her mom. And then just like, so in the end, when we go back to WandaVision, we see her freaking out because her mom's gone, like, and then her saying sorry. I was always like, oh, it's because she missed the last few years of her life, she missed those last moments. But no, it's because she felt like she did what Captain Marvel did. She felt like she abandoned her mom. And so that's why when she sees her mom, it's not like, Mom, I'm happy to see you. She starts crying and apologizing. It's so terrible. Oh my gosh.
It's not even her. She's like, who are you? I don't know you.
She's freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh
gosh.
How bad do you think it hurt Monica inside when they were going through those memories with the Skrull torture device or whatever, when they were going through those memories and she saw that Carol came back, but only after she was not there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you came back after I'm dust? Like, after I've been blipped?
No, I saw that a different way. I would be happy that she was there for my mom while I wasn't there, like knowing that she did come back to see her. Because the whole time, part of her chip was, you never came back to see my mom, who was your best friend.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I might be more petty about it. It's like, oh, was it me? Is it me? Do you hate me? Like, you never came back for me? You came back for my mom dying of cancer, but only after I'm gone?
Very selfish, Hefe.
You're not wrong.
Oh man. And then you've got the the beautiful resolution of that whole abandonment thing and her not understanding why Captain Marvel left is that the last action she does is to leave them.
I know.
And like she does the thing that Captain Marvel did. She abandons this new forming group, this new family.
It was so fast too.
And she said, I always knew I was going to have to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something.
But she gets to build a new team.
Listen, everybody's complaining about this phase, but we needed to find a way to make the mutant stuff make sense. And we've been talking about it for years now. How are you going to integrate mutants? How are you going to bring in the X-Men? How are you going to do this? And it took them having to do all this multiverse stuff to make it make sense for why they're bringing them in now and why haven't they been, doing anything during the Thanos stuff?
Where have they been this whole
blah,
time?
blah, 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 blah. It's a multiverse thing. Shut up and let the building blocks build, okay?
Shut up and let it happen.
It's the little piece by piece. And then what? Deadpool's the next movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, they've talked about moving it back and moving Cap forward.
Okay, that's fine.
Or,
that's fine.
Yeah. I think it's Brave New World.
I'm okay with that.
Last we heard was Deadpool was moving back to November and
a whole year.
Oh no.
I will, for 1 second, part of me was like, God damn it, I could be watching Dune right now. But then I was like, no.
Yeah, that was just come out last weekend. And like last weekend was like the lowest weekend in the box office in the whole year because Dune was gone and nothing else was still like, singing along.
Speaking of singing along.
Oh my
Speaking
God,
of singing along.
so many musicals.
How about that musical number on the musical planet?
It was just enough to not be too much. I will give them a ton of credit for that. It wasn't too much.
Well, also, like, I think the part that like really saved that was the like Carol walking through it, just kind of like, yeah, hi, yep, hello, and then like you had Monica off to the side that was kind of dancing, like, okay, that might be a bit much. Like when she said, like, give me some of whatever they're having.
Yeah.
But then like Kamala's just like, yeah, woo, let's do
that
it.
Fun stuff.
Yeah,
She's
she's
from
like, party.
Yeah. Everybody
There's
else
one
is
moment.
too uptight.
After Captain Marvel joins him and sings with him, it cuts over to them and they are both getting down, like fully.
It was so
They're
great.
just,
That
like
gown.
feeling it.
Oh, girl.
Oh, it was
that
great.
Gown. Oh.
That's going to be like
Okay.
launched 1,000 cosplays.
There's going to be a Carol Core at Dragon Con.
Oh, for sure.
With everybody in gowns. I want to do that gown.
You could.
I mean, and we have to say it. She's a Disney princess now.
She's
a Disney
princess
princess
now. Oh my God, Brie, good look, like Oscar winner Disney. Did you see all those Oscar tears? She was like on it with her Oscar tears, eyes wide open, just bloop.
Yep.
I was like, that's
like,
an Oscar winning tear.
I'm happy you're here. You too.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
So
I love. Oh my God, the prince. Like, wait, he doesn't have to sing. Oh no, he's bilingual.
Thank God.
He's bilingual.
That was awesome.
I couldn't believe they went to full Andrew Lloyd Webber cats. I was very here
that
for,
was
for the
so good.
Attack
my
of the
gosh.
Flurkins. Everybody be calm and just let the Flurkins eat you.
Yes, you'll be fine. Just let the Flurkins
I would
eat
be
you.
fine.
Oh my God, the heroes became villains in that moment. Like they had to hold people down and let the Flurkins eat them.
Yep. Which, okay, as much as I love that scene, it's amazing. It was perfect that they did that. The fact that the like people they left out were
Her
Kamala's family, I was like, okay, that's just because they're in the movie. Like, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's just because
it's
they're stars
they're
in the movie.
important characters.
They should have absolutely been eaten, like one of the first groups to be
Extras,
eaten.
get in.
Yeah.
Extras, get in the cat.
Yeah, exactly. Extras in the cats. It doesn't matter if you like are a agent of S.W.O.R.D. who could stay around and help do all this stuff. We'd rather have Kamala's mom chasing cats.
I don't care if you're a great pilot, if you know all the navigation systems, like whatever. I don't care.
That's
Kamala's mom has to be out to complain.
Yep, and she was wonderful at it, but that was like one of those moments where you're like, no, that's dumb. She should have been the first in the cat. Like her and the whole family with like no powers, no skill sets, no training. They first in the cat.
Like, this is the safest place for civilians inside this little kitty.
Didn't her brother get married at the end of that show? Where was his wife?
It wasn't at the end.
It wasn't?
It was in like episode 3, I think, when they had the wedding.
I'd be like, bring me too if someone's trying to kill us.
He was on FaceTime or whatever with her.
That's right.
And that's when Fury was like, no phones. He's got his phone.
So what do you guys think about that? It's such a hard turn from the Fury that we just saw in
really
show that shall not be
Especially-
named. Like,
why
that's
did they?
the Fury I remember, but like, what are you doing?
There's so much I want to talk
like
about that's not Secret Invasion because I like this movie a lot. But like,
Yep.
where's his wife? Like, why did they make such a big deal? Why was that the resolution of his story in Secret Invasion? If not, the only thing that justified it in my mind was like maybe they're pointing to him like being a big part of the negotiations, and she's going to be at the table, and like he's going to be able to talk to her, and she's going to be an important Skrull character going forward. We've lost Ben Mendelsohn, like maybe she's the new like Skrull liaison or something. Nope, she's just not in the movie
Not
at
there
all.
at all.
I don't know if they cut her or if she's just like, yeah, because it was unpopular. I just don't know. It just now it seems even worse that they ended it the way they did.
And then that Skrull colony, like refugees from that colony, are now
Oh my God, they're in New Asgard?
on the way to New Asgard.
Yes.
Because
I was
Valkyrie
very
showed
happy
up.
to see her. I didn't know how much
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed that scene until it happened.
Yeah,
I was very excited to see her, and I love their friendship.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
even know anything about it, but I want to, like, can we have their buddy movie like we got with Natalie Portman?
Oh my God, yes.
yes. And I love. Yeah, it's really interesting, and it definitely sets up based on how Secret Invasion ended. That like now even more aliens are hanging out in
They're
New
gonna all hide
Asgard.
there. Oh no.
Which like the president got on TV and said like they're all like enemies of Earth.
We're killing all of you.
Yeah, so that's going to set up a real problem, I think.
Uh-oh.
The fact that she's willing to bring more Skrulls onto Earth.
It's going to be like Genosha, or is that it?
Yeah,
Ooh,
or
yeah.
like what's the
Krakoa.
there's the siege where it's in what, Ohio or something? Iowa?
Broxton. It was in Broxton, Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was the comic event Siege.
yeah. Well, if you want to be able to withstand sieges in your life,
You got to bring in some Skrulls.
you got to get some AG1.
Oh. Will AG1 make you green like a Skrull?
But that's a much better transition. Athletic Greens, the company, with their wonderful product AG1, will fortify you like a powerful Skrull.
Sure. It'll make you feel like a super Skrull.
Yeah. You want to feel like a super Skrull every day? Start your morning with AG1.
That's right.
Some
that's
people
right.
get it through like a supplement routine and a whole bunch of pills and everything. And like, that's a bunch to keep up with. And I already take enough meds. Like, I don't want 15 more pills. But like, when I read the back of what was on the AG1 package, I was like, holy crap, they've got everything in here for me.
Yep.
This is going to help my sleep. Like, this is going to help my skin and nails. And it does.
It does. 75 vitamins, minerals, and probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients. You're talking about taking so many pills. I had gotten to where I was taking a lot of pills for vitamins. Like I just had a lot of vitamins in with my morning, whatever, actual medication. And now I like literally just was able to cut it down. Like I stopped taking all those pills. Like, and also I find myself like, when I'd seen AG1 promoted and I was like, I don't want to add one more thing. I'm doing all this other stuff. And then I started taking it and realized I could cut out a bunch of the pills I was taking, like for vitamins. And I stopped needing as many energy drinks and stuff because I really do feel way more energized on this stuff.
You said you feel like a superhero on it.
That's literally what you said.
Those words came into my chat.
I seriously do. I feel great. I stopped taking some of my energy drinks or whatever. Like I don't really use that anymore because AG1 is really, really good. It just, whatever it has is what my body was lacking. And I just feel like I feel really powerful throughout the day.
Yeah, it does plug in a lot of those gaps. And one of the great things that I love that they have is the little single pack travel packs. So like if I'm going to the office and like I don't have any time to pack up a freaking blender bottle and like get all that shaken up. Like I just gotta go grab one of the little packs, throw it in my bag, get to the office, shake it up there, good to go.
I drink AG1 every morning right before I start my day, and it makes me feel just like really, really, really wonderful and unstoppable. I love it. If you guys are lacking it's just feeling like you're lacking something in your diet every day or whatever, it really does like take care of all those vitamins and minerals that I feel like sometimes I don't get in that stuff. So give it a try, for real.
If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/MCU. That's drinkag1.com/MCU. Check it out.
Back to the scrolls here. You mentioned at the top, Jeff, that like you felt like there were certain things that weren't given time to breathe. And I feel like one of the things that was not given time to breathe was these like catastrophes that happened. Like, two planets were like colonies. One was like a full planet, and one was like colony on a planet, just completely destroyed, dismantled, and like all life was, snuffed out or whatever. And like we had to move on to the fun tone of this movie a little too quickly, I think. I think there could have been a little more like, you can have, I feel like there had to have been some stuff edited out of this, that they were trying to get it to a tighter time for whatever reason, that like they could have had, like they wanted to keep it light and airy, but they left in these like slaughters, and we definitely saw people die, and like saw people getting crushed by rocks and stuff as they flew off the planet. They even had that moment where they had to teach,
you gotta let go, girl.
Yeah, they had to teach Kamala, like, no, you got to save the ones you can, and you got to get out. And that's a hard lesson, and we did not see Kamala have to process that. We saw her process it in the moment.
But not the consequences of that, and like living with that sacrifice.
Like, we haven't even brought her up. Does anyone, the villain, what was her name?
Dar-Ben.
So they had her looking like Linda Blair. Like, I couldn't get past her contacts because she looked like every girl in a possession movie for the last like 10 years. I was just waiting for her head to spin around. I'm not saying it was bad, but she really did have that like, I'm possessed kind of look, like The Conjuring. But I just feel like we didn't get enough time to, like, I get her point, like, I need to take my resources back. But she was just not as good of a Ronin, but was just kind of doing the same thing again. She even had the little hammer. I don't know.
The universal weapon?
Sure.
But it like, the universal weapon seemed like it was imbued with the power stone? Like it was purple?
Like, what was that? Hand up in the back, somebody... Movie, could you explain what the hell that was?
Yeah. Why did it have the power if it no longer has the power? So I don't think his hammer glowed like that before that moment when he like infuses
Not that I recall,
No. Yeah. And that just seemed like it was it.
When she put on the double bands and like she created the new portal, I feel like she died in a very like similar way to like the way Ronan fell apart. That same like sort of chunky flesh, like burnt flesh falling apart thing.
Yeah, basically just exploding, incinerating. But this time in space instead of on a planet.
Mm-hmm. Cosmic energy eating her alive.
No dance-off to save the planet, so I'm a little lackluster with everything
the dance-off was earlier in the movie.
That's true.
Oh, the scarf! God, that scarf was so cool.
It was cool.
Like, using the scarf as like, when he was like, use your scarf! And she's like, oh... I have a weapon now. Blah, blah, blah. I know exactly how to use it. Like, okay.
What do you think of her overall plan? Jeff, I feel like you would hate her plan.
Her plan of, like,
like the science of it.
Yeah, no, the science is not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, you're assuming that, like, the planet that you're trying to pull the atmosphere from isn't also going to have gravity.
Yeah.
Like, if they both like, you open a portal between, they're going to collide and destroy each other.
Like, the rushing in of that much atmosphere would be as destructive to your planet as the leaving from that planet. And also, like, water just, like, crashing down in your oceans. It's just going to cause...
Oh, you're just flooding everybody now.
Yeah, you're just flooding the world.
I figured it out.
You're pulling water off of a planet that is 99.67% water.
That's a good point.
That's a whole shitload of water, and I bet I would put money on Hala does not have that much water coverage normally. So if you're just going to pull some of it and like snip it off and then be like, hey, look, you've got more land now, that water planet, maybe that's okay. But like, it's still just two planets that are going to have gravity that are going to hit each other. It's not how it works.
Is that what happens when worlds collide?
Yeah. This is what it's like when worlds collide.
That's it.
Are you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go.
The stuff on Hala, though, finding out with Captain Marvel what happened with her.
Oh, yeah.
So she started this civil war?
Yeah.
She started the Kree Civil War, apparently.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Which makes sense. She created a power vacuum at the top.
Yeah, she created a power vacuum, and everybody wants to vie for leadership.
Yep.
And I love that we got to actually see the Kree Supreme Intelligence on screen.
It was cool.
Like that goofy looking, like multi eyes, like giant face. Like, oh, this is ridiculous. It's got to go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It
was
cool.
awesome. It was rad. And I love the whole like storyline that it tied into the whole thing I was talking about earlier, that she's just a person and she got all this power. She went out there, took it upon herself to do this big thing. And then instead of realizing instead of being humbled by the sort of like consequences of her actions, she just continued to pile more of the universe on her shoulders. She's like, no, I can keep working harder and doing more. And then I don't want to see the people that I love because I don't want them to see the person that I've become. And I love that, like, through getting to know Kamala, and it ties into what I think Kamala's story was, which is like, Kamala is all of the fangirl. She wants to be more like Captain Marvel, but in the
she's
end,
idolizing. Yeah,
in the end, she has to meet her and realize, she's just a human. But the thing that like kind of brings Captain Marvel out of it is being more like Miss Marvel, like being more willing to connect with people. There's such a beautiful moment when Monica's talking about her mother dying and her blipping away and like how she abandoned her basically and like feels terrible about it. Kamala just rushes in, barely knowing her, and hugs her, and then like with one arm goes,
she's like, get over here.
Get over here.
Read the room, Carol.
So often these like characters and we're so often, us as humans can be so emotionally stunted, and sometimes it takes someone who's just open like that to be like, no, like what you need to do is connect. And it's through that connection that gave her the idea to be like, no, can't you just like go restart their son? Can't you just do kind things to Hala? Like, why do you have to keep the war going?
Yeah.
Why can't you really create a truce and like help them rebuild their civilization that you did destroy? Like,
yeah, like that's the real shitty thing, is that she went and destroyed the Supreme Intelligence, and she's like, deuces, figure it out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
Well, she thought she was liberating.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the thing
she
is,
was in many ways.
Hey, we've learned people do not like their own, freedom of thought or whatever. Like, no.
Yeah. Lead me. I can't do it on my own.
Yeah.
Like, you took a culture, like they said, the Supreme Intelligence had been ruling the Kree.
It's like the
ruling
TVA.
Hala for a millennia. Like thousands of years. That is an entire culture that does not know how to think for themselves, basically. Like, they can't govern themselves. They need help. They need somebody to help install some amount of government that like let them figure out democracy, instead of being like, you know what? I think we should just fight a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Getting to that place of finding the proper government sometimes takes centuries of war. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what was happening there. It's been 30 years since she left. Is it 40 years? 30 years since she left
30.
in the 90s. She left in the 90s to go fight, and now it's like she had let them have that war for 30 years.
Yeah, you guys duke it out. I'll come back and fix it when you're done.
I'll just keep fixing things. What did they call her? The Annihilator?
The Annihilator.
Damn. Heavy.
That is a heavy title. I love it.
I was like, that's badass. And at the end, when her suit's all like dirty, I'm like, yeah, I like this. You're like, Nomad Captain America. Annihilator.
Yeah. I am the Annihilator.
Like, I didn't want anybody to know.
I didn't want anybody to know
Like,
this
and
can
Carol,
happen.
that is rock and fucking roll. Like,
yeah, right? That is so metal.
Yeah.
You destroyed a civilization? Yep. That's incredible.
Someone hail hydrated, but I don't have any water, so I'll just hail hydrate with
I got some water.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, with that wine will hydrate you. Well, and I love that line that she, when she says all of that and says, you know, I wouldn't want you to see me like that. I wanted to figure out how to be better, basically, before you saw me again. I wanted to fix all my problems. And
yeah, I had to fix it before I could come home.
Yeah, like what if this didn't happen? What would I be, like 60? And you're like, oh, I still didn't figure it out yet. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't fixed the galaxy just yet.
Mm-hmm.
No good.
Yeah. But Monica says that's not how family works.
That's not how family works.
And I think that's such a good line.
I think it's interesting that she still wears the Skrull torture device to like try to get her memories back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she hasn't gotten them all back yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because it's like you've come so far and gotten so much power back, but the trauma of that situation is still with you. You know, you're still dealing with the trauma.
It's important character development for where she's at now because, you know, she's not whole.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it allowed them to pad the runtime with clips and footage from old pieces of media.
I wouldn't say pad the runtime as much as like explain to people who haven't seen Miss Marvel and WandaVision what happened to these characters. Like they had to explain the blip and somehow. All that stuff. It was
I think
Captain
they did
Marvel,
it well.
WandaVision, Miss Marvel. Is this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time that we had a character from a series transition to movie, right?
With the exception of Jarvis, like old Jarvis from the 40s.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so I guess this is the first time we've seen a leading character from a Disney Plus series transition to film.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anyone else so far, because I don't think anyone from Multiverse.
The little boys were in there.
That's true, but they, again, sort of side characters. Not in the movie, not in the show, but in the movie, I would say.
And we haven't
kind of in the show because they change actors like every episode.
We haven't seen Monica since then. It's
That's
been
right.
a long time.
Yeah. And this we've been asking for connectivity. This is some of the best connectivity we've gotten in these phases.
Kate
so
the
good.
Bishop. We got the Kate the
Bishop. Oh my
God. So many. It. Kate Bishop was wonderful. And then, of course, we're bringing in the X-Men. And it just really starts to connect all kinds of things.
And she brought up Cassie Lang, so we're definitely getting the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Did you hear that Ant-Man had a daughter? Yes. Mm-hmm. So obviously Young Avengers is happening.
Yeah.
We've been saying it for years.
But how young are they going to be when they make that in 6 years?
Yeah. She did say, like, you think you're the only kid superhero? And she's like, I'm 23.
A lot of connectivity in this movie. I really excited because I feel like we're getting down and like connectivity to the Young Avengers. Like this one movie, it gave us two things we've been talking about forever. Finally get these Young Avengers connected, and having her go around as Nick Fury is so fun.
Yeah.
But also getting connectivity to the multiverse with some of our more like less multiversal characters, I guess. Like the Marvels, all three of them are not really multiversal characters, but being able to reach out into the multiverse with, I guess, Photon or whoever she's going to be. I thought for sure
she's Spectre now, right?
Well, did she? Is that what they never said that in the movie? So I thought for sure we'd get.
They did say Spectrum at one point.
Yeah,
they said Spectra. I thought because she said Spectravision. She said Spectravision.
I thought it was Spectrum with an M.
I thought it was Spectrum, Spectravision.
Maybe.
I know that Maria was
no wait
binary when we went into the other thing.
Yeah, they called her binary.
Yeah, and I wonder if she'll take on binary like after she meets her mom
in honor of her mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I like her costume better. I like the black and white.
Also, it kind of lines up like the time period of those X-Men and the ages they should be and stuff. The fact that we're going to get a different age here, you know what I mean? Because they've always been like playing a few years back or whatever. So like, it makes sense that Maria would be younger. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Well, it's also the same age as the Maria from Multiverse of Madness. Yeah,
that's true.
838.
So I guess it just doesn't really matter. I guess it's the multiverse. You can have whatever mixture of characters from whatever time periods.
She brought up in this, like, you were 1 second away from being me. Captain Marvel said it to Maria when they were on the porch. And so that it is fun that in every other universe, she is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's like the Owatu What If.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I love it. And I love that the Beast was like, Charles wants an update. Like, I know who that is. I know who that is.
Just make everyone young like the Irishman and let's fucking do this. I'm so ready for the X-Men.
Go for it. Bring them in. Bring them in.
I can't wait. This movie left me with a lot of excitement for the future. And that's what we've been waiting on, what we've been looking for. So I'm pumped. Pumped for Loki. Speaking of excitement for the future, let's go watch Loki.
Go watch Loki.
The finale is up. Let's do it right now. We love you guys. We're going to get off of the live stream and off the podcast so we can go watch Loki. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Bye.
Until next time.
Hey, you just listened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast from Stranded Panda. I really hope you liked it. Let me just say a big thank you to all of our supporters on patreon.com/MCUcast. You are the lifeblood of our little operation here, and a huge thank you to our insanely generous Illuminati tier patrons, Walter Kreisky III, Lieutenant Bongo, and Jazz Viz. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to see our beautiful faces, you can catch a video version of many of our episodes at youtube.com/strandedpanda. Love you 3000, my friends.